probably, let's say I'm standing over here, this is branding and marketing, and this is the selling part.
You cannot be everything to everybody and not be anything to somebody, right? So you need to define who your ideal customers are.
We are not selling anything. This is purely based upon like bringing more value to you guys. So hey guys, welcome to this another one, and in the previous one we just introduced ourselves, who Karan is, who am I, a small little one, and in this video we're going to be talking a detail about branding and marketing and then selling. So when we talk about that, probably let's say I'm standing over here, this is branding and marketing and this is the selling part. So what is the difference between that? And if you are watching and if you are somebody who is just an individual who are thinking to grow a personal brand, or maybe a business who might be having this kind of banquet hall and I want to promote this kind of banquet hall, what you should be doing. So Karan, you tell me, like, what do you think about the branding and marketing and selling?
So now at the end of the day, it's all connected. Right? Branding leads to sales. If you're a bigger brand, obviously you get more sales. So the most important lesson that I've learned, and I think it's really crucial in terms of brand building, is realizing what is your market, defining your market. Right? If I start marketing to everybody, like there's a big saying in marketing that you cannot be everything to everybody and not be anything to somebody, right? So you need to define who your ideal customers are and only market to them. So when I market, I know what to work with those specific 1% individuals who have a lot of money, who can afford my services. So that's where my entire marketing is focused at. So I think that's the crucial part. That's the key which I think most people miss. They just randomly copy paste stuff from here and there and talk to everybody.
Exactly. And as rightly said, like you have to define like who is going to be affording your service. You cannot just target everybody. Like people think that they will be charging 1 lakh rupees to just build a website, wherein there would be a lot of people who would just spend 2,000 rupees to build a website, all right, because they won't have any knowledge about the hosting, they won't have any knowledge about the domain name, and then there are plenty of other recurring charges which are known as website maintenance charges as well. So you have to just make sure that whom you are targeting and what is your target audience. So that is just one thing. And if we talk about, let's say, branding, all right, what is branding? Like the series which we are right now doing, you have no clue that what is going to be the next step. All right, we are not selling anything. This is purely based upon like bringing more value to you guys. We are not here to sell anything like a product of Digital Pratik or anything like a current product. All right, we are not over here to sell you anything. Trust me, we both come from a different background, though in the same niche, which we call as digital marketing. Like people call it digital marketing, we call it like digital stuff, because like I just read digital marketing as just another commerce, arts, or like engineering field. So that's what you have to focus. And then comes like marketing. So when we define marketing, like he is right now, let's say we just jump out of this car or maybe this car. So when we see this car, we don't know what this car is made of, or maybe we don't know what this car has features about. What is the difference between these two cars? So if I know that the features which we have is different, then probably I'll buy this or that. All right. So that's the point which we will discuss a little bit in detail. So let's just bring it on.
And like he gave the example about the car. Now, like I said, I target the 1%, right? So it's part of branding. So if I, in my videos, probably have an Activa. Now, no offense in having Activa, right? It's an individual choice. It's not a bad product. Some people like that. But when my potential client, who's going to pay me a big amount, sees that I'm in an Activa and not a BMW, they're not going to look at me in the same brand and same frame. So when you like target an affluent client, when you're branding to affluent clients, they like experience and they like exclusivity, which is why I buy these cars, which is why I spend on these cars. Right? So that's again the part of branding.
So when you have the experience is equal to like emotions, is equal to feelings. Like you are listening to me, probably you might be in two different categories. One, you probably know me already, you know Karan, or maybe you are somebody who might not be knowing me or might not be knowing Karan. So if you are knowing me and you are listening, you already have a connection, you already have that feeling. Right. And if you don't know me, probably you are getting a new experience from a guy who is talking some digital stuff, from a guy who is talking some experience stuff. And maybe, we are not sure, maybe you might have a connection with us through our words, through our emotions, through the value which you are bringing to you. So that's experience. And if your product, service, or maybe this kind of content, which might be once again a free content, is equal to product, service. So if that is bringing experience, trust me, your brand will win.
And just to add one last point to that, now, like right from the attire, right, I'm in a track pant. When Pratik said that we have to shoot this, I could have been in a formal suit, like a 3-piece suit, right? But then I chose to be in a track pant because this is who I am. right? And when people look at me, some would hate me, some would think that's stupid, that's very informal, and some would really like it because it connects with them. That's who they are, right? So that's a part of branding. So branding again goes to projecting who you really are, showing authentically your values, and projecting yourself to the world. And some may like you, some may hate you. And when people like you and hate you, that's when you're doing branding. If people have no opinion about you, shit. Bad
Shit,
job.
just like he said, shit. Like that might be a cursing word for somebody. Might be a blessing for somebody. If I say a fuck, that might be a blessing for somebody. Maybe you will connect with me. Maybe you are not.
Because you're my best friend. Where we go on fucks.
Alright, so we'll talk about this a little bit more on a different kind of thing where we'll just sit and talk to you a little bit more on branding and marketing and selling as well. So guys, welcome back over here in this particular segment for branding, marketing and selling. Now, we were referring to all the generic data. Now we're going to be going a little bit onto specific when we talk about digital stuff. This is all about bringing value to you in the digital era or digital world. So Karan over here is going to be taking his own example of how he grew the marketing nerds, what he used to do 5 years down the line or earlier or now, what are his plans and what are the lead magnets, sales funnel, which all the fancy terminologies of digital marketing people use often enough. He's going to share a little bit more. So Karan, it's all yours.
Yeah. So I'll quickly give you a rundown about how I started with the agency work. So back, long back, I was a trainer in the gym. It doesn't look like that now. I've lost a lot of weight, but I was a heavy guy with six packs and abs and stuff. So back then
that probably was Fitness with Karan.
Fitness
right?
with Karan.
He already had that brand. He also wears his cap at times like Fitness with Karan. FWK.
I had a lot of merchandising and stuff. And I was selling a lot of products on ClickBank back then. And surprisingly, Pakistan was my second largest customer base. Like the moms from Pakistan really loved my product. So there's a completely different podcast. You can go check out that podcast on the Marketing Nerd podcast where I told how I almost went bankrupt with a new innovative idea about the fitness product launch. I invested 25-30 lakh rupees on that idea and lost it all. So that's a different story. So I wasn't making a lot of money back then, and after I lost this money and I was almost bankrupt, I had no way to now get more cash flow. So I figured what could be a best way to make money, and that's when I got into the freelancing world. So back then I was working on the typical platforms, Elance, which is now Upwork.com, and Freelancer, charging $1, $2 for writing content, which is how my partner Sandhya and I started. And post that, by excuse my language, but I'm sure you get used to it. So by getting fucked over and over again, which is how you learn how to drive a car well.
You make more babies.
So we made more babies, and our first company, Content Tutorial, grew into the marketing nerds. So that's when I realized that by getting underpaid, by getting exploited by clients, by sometimes not getting paid at all, I learned with experience, and eventually marketing nerds came about. So now how I grew marketing nerds, initially it was all through personal contacts, because during my fitness days I had a lot of celebrity clients I was working with. So through the contacts I initially got.
So I'm so sorry to interrupt, but I just want to make that line a little bit more contextual to every newbie listening to this and watching this. He said contacts. Now, does that mean that if you don't have any contacts you won't be able to make it? No, it's not like that. Just imagine, just go a little bit backwards. He said Fitness with Karan. Now when he did Fitness with Karan and all those things, he didn't have contacts. He did his all hard work to grow that, but he went bankrupt. So that was also a journey. In that journey, he made some contacts, which now were able to help a little bit in the second venture. So that was not the first venture. So it is not necessary that you should be having contacts to make a huge thing.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
So all the contacts came in from an earlier company, earlier venture, right? I did not know all these people from before or my school. So once I got a few clients with the contacts, and now this is where again I fucked up. So because the money was coming in and flowing in, I got a very expensive office right next to Yashraj Film Studios. I spent a ton. I got about 15-20 people, and at one point I almost grew it to 35 people. And although there was not a lot of work, because I wanted some ego boosting and I had all these clients, so I went with the flow, and that was more of an egoistic thing. And eventually, my attention wasn't on delivering good service. My attention was how to grow, which is a mistake that I made at that point. And initially, and again, the clients started dropping off at that point. And then I went back to ground zero and I said that, hey, if I want to, now how long can I leverage my contacts, right? You can only have so many contacts and you can leverage them so much. So I need to come up with a funnel which was very popular back then. This was sometime in 2012 when funnel was like a...
Yeah, it was like a new word.
Yeah.
Funnel hacker, all those things, like funnels and everything was like booming. Still it is booming, but now people know that.
So, and I came across guys, international guys, and I said, okay, these guys talk about funnel, so let's create some funnel. So I started with those initial lead magnets, tripwire, and my lead magnet was, I ran a Facebook ad, people signed up for, information. We created custom funnels for them, which is what we gave as a lead magnet, and we got them on a call and explained how the whole funnel worked. But it was I would say a premature move because in India people didn't understand funnel. So we had a very difficult time in selling and explaining the whole funnel, what's a tripwire, lead magnet, and then so that didn't work well. And eventually then we stumbled upon, which is what has been successful for us for the last 5 odd years, which is we got into events. Now, thankfully I had a little bit of an acting background. I did theatre for a while, which really helped me with the events and as a speaking thing and for the videos. So what we do now is we have these 3-day boot camps, which is W Profits with Digital Marketing Bootcamp, where we attract business owners through 2 platforms, Facebook and LinkedIn. And a lot of times we also do some cold reach outs through emails. So, and then we invite them, either the company owners, co-founders, founders, or the delegates from the company, the marketing heads. And we have about 50 odd people in a room where we walk them through the entire process. So basically that's 3 days of hammering them with a lot of information about how they could literally double their profits in 12 months, right? We give them a complete roadmap. And you know what, at the end of the day, everybody is technically overwhelmed, which is sort of my idea, to give them so much information and overwhelm them that they feel like, shit, this is too much work.
Yeah.
And I also walk them so that how many talented people they would require and how much they would charge minimum in salary to have all these people on board. And then I give them a before after picture. Like say, hey, you can hire all these people and pay them so much, or you could hire us, pay us 1.5 lakh rupees a month, and then sign up for the service. And we usually have a 10% conversion rate from the events itself. So if there are 50 people in the event, we have about 5 clients signing up, and on an average a client stays with us for about a year.
Yeah.
So that's like, you can calculate the money. That's good good money.
Yeah, so it's like, see, making money is easy, trust me. If you understand the logics, if you understand the digital world, if you understand the psychological concepts, plus on top of everything on the top, you have hard work. Like just imagine he talked about 1.5 lakhs per month into 5 and then 1 year retention, all those things. He said after what? After he talked about fitness with Karan, which went bankrupt.
Yeah.
After he talked about all that fucked up thing which he had, and then he thought of this idea of marketing nerds, taking clients, giving events, value, this and that. Alright, so after all those things, now comes this part where he is churning up money like anything. Alright, so it's once again the long journey. Alright, you can make lakhs and lakhs of rupees per month. I personally come from a background wherein I started my journey with 9,000 rupees call center job. Alright, but that was back in 2010. We are living in 2019, where now I am able to churn up like lakhs of rupees per month, and we are able to do this kind of free value. So people always worry about this, like I want to help other people with my free content, but तुम्हारा क्या है? पहले तुम्हारा तो खुद का बनाओ, ठीक है? तुम्हारा ही खुद का खर्चे का वांदा है, पानी पीने का वांदा है, खाने पीने का वांदा है, और तुम किसी और को help करने जा रहे हो. So first help yourself. That's the number one thing which we want to discuss over here. And then he talked about selling to clients or maybe selling the events. But in the initial stage, what he did was giving away something as a lead magnet. Now, people who have no clue about lead magnets are something for free. Alright, so let's suppose if I want to sell this iPhone to somebody. Alright, so maybe my lead magnet for this particular one would be a small little video wherein I would showcase the difference between maybe Android phone and this Apple phone, and I will show what is the feature of this, the camera feature, the quality, XYZ things. Alright, and that would be maybe my 5 to 10 minute video, or maybe I might write just 7 features you cannot miss out on using the brand new iPhone, and it might be an ebook or maybe a blog article. And then what I'll do is I'll promote that particular free thing, which is my content, as my lead magnet. That is my lead magnet. So something which you give for free in exchange of what? In exchange of maybe a name, email, phone number, whatever it is. It might be a contact detail of the person. So that is what is lead magnet. And after that lead magnet, you just run them through a tripwire.
Right.
And tripwire usually starts with, if it is a digital stuff, it would start with a small amount money, maybe $1 or maybe 7 days for $7, like whatever it is. It's a small piece of thing which gives you a 10,000 feet overview of that $10,000 end product maybe. And then if you are convinced with that branding and marketing, all right, this is what is branding and marketing. I always tell people like branding or branding ads should be done for the free stuff or the free value which you have. So probably if you are watching this, you might have come through an ad, or you might have seen my promotion for this particular free thing, or maybe Karan will give a shout out on Instagram story. You might have come over here. We don't know how you are watching this or listening to this, but this is purely based on we marketing this particular product, which is like a series of video or podcast episodes, whatever it is, and then you are watching or listening to. So that's our branding thing. And now we would be marketing various different things. We don't even know what our next episode would be. Why? Because our primary focus is to bring you more value with respect to digital stuff. So that is branding and marketing. And then comes the selling. So selling happens when you actually exchange your product or service with not just contact, with the actual currency. Alright, the dollar or the rupee amount. So that's where he said 1.5 lakh rupees is something which his clients used to pay, and now he's doing plenty of stuff. I'm doing plenty of stuff. So that is what the monetization is on a higher end.
And just to add to that, so when Pratik walked you through the entire funnel, right, lead magnet, tripwire, and eventually the core offer, which is selling the product. So if you see, now this is again a funnel that we built, right? So here what we are doing is we're not selling you or at the outset. We're not selling anything. We haven't sold anything to you. Right? All we are doing is adding value. So whenever you create your lead magnet, tripwire, very, very important, you want to demonstrate as much value as you can, because these are the stones through which you eventually take your customers to buy your product, right? This is the deciding phase. Right, so you want to deliver immense value, because most people miss that. They just feel, हम लोग को एक ebook बना लेंगे, we'll put an ebook together, 7 ways to do this, and then people will buy my product. That's not how it is. You want to deliver as much value as you can, which is what Pratik highlighted, and that's really, really important. And going back to my funnel, for my agency, we now don't have any lead magnets. What I do, this is something that I haven't shared with anybody, and not even at the events. So I have a saved audience in Facebook, and which is majorly business owners and or CEOs and founders and stuff, and I just constantly bombard them with a lot of retargeting ads all throughout the year, right? And these ads are specially made for them, displaying in the video. Again, how you create your video is important, right? What's on the background, what car are you driving, what exactly are you wearing, what language are you speaking. So these videos are specifically scripted for them, and throughout the year they at least see 25, 30, 40 different videos. So they are already enamored in my world, which is something I call rule their mind. So I'm already ruling their mind before they come to my event, and at the event the goal is to wow them, dissolve them in my world further, so that they eventually want to work with me, right? So I create a ladder where people want to come and work with me in my agency, as opposed to them asking me, hey, send me a proposal, I'll compare and blah blah.
So that's a very great example, and I'll practically give you 2 examples over here of this kind of branding effect through your ads. Like number 1, 2017, when I attended his event, I had no clue who Karan Dharamsi was. I had no clue about the marketing nerds. I actually saw a retargeting ad only. Alright, and that ad, I was in Gujarat at that point in time, in Ahmedabad, and he specifically made an advertisement in Gujarati language, where he, along with his colleague Namrata, they both were in the video, and she was acting like a mother, he was the son, and he was just sitting on the laptop and things like that. And then all of a sudden, like Namrata as a mother is coming, kya kar raha hai, su kare che beta, all those things, like she's saying all those things, and he's like constantly on the laptop. And then all of a sudden some gifts come in, the prizes come in, and the delivery boy is knocking. So what it means, the affiliate commissions were coming in, and his mother is like thinking, Namrata is thinking that how this phone call came in. Just a random. See, this is what we want. This is what we want. We just want to keep this raw, uncut version. We don't want to edit it in a fancy way. We just want to keep it more valuable stuff for you. So yes, like Namrata is coming and just coming and asking like Karan in that video that, Karan, ye sab paise kahan se aa rahe? Like, you're not going to job. And then he says, this is the power of digital marketing.
And the marketing knows.
Exactly. So by like that retargeting ad was specifically to sell you that particular event. And that's the reason why this particular ad advertisement was there. So now understand, this retargeting ad was bringing you value, but at the same point in time it was selling the event as well. But that happened after what? After a little bit of journey where you have your audience built up and retargeting thing. Now in 2019 world, what I personally do, Karan, is whenever I have, let's suppose if I have an event in Mumbai, I was a speaker like on 10th August. So what I did was, before 10th of August, so from 1st August to 9th August or 10th August, I will just run Facebook ads and Instagram ads against my free content.
Right.
Nothing like retargeting, nothing like anything, all broad.
Right.
I'll just target, just because it was a college event and there were 1000 students who were under 22. So I wanted to target like specifically 13 to 22 years of age group on Facebook and Instagram.
Correct.
So I just put out my valuable video on Facebook and Instagram, maybe of 2-3 minutes. I ran ads against it with a budget of 500 rupees a day, or maybe at times 1000, depending upon like optimization, and that is a little bit of detail. But that created an impact.
Right.
And that is like the incidences which are happening right now because of these kind of branding ads is people when they meet us, they see, "Aapko koi dekha hai?"
Correct.
Like the cab driver will tell you. Like a couple of Instagram people DM me that, "Sir, मैंने वो प्रतीक वाला बंगलो देखा ना तो मेरे को digital प्रतीक याद आया." Like that happens, you know, slowly and steadily, and that is what is branding effect.
Correct.
So you make sure you right now in this world, you don't have to sell your product. Have you ever seen a Apple ad selling their iPhone? No, but still it is like $1 trillion industry or like a company.
Yeah.
All right, Apple. They never sell their product. They always showcase the value in the form of one event once a year, or maybe the videos which they create on their website. Like they are so beautiful.
Crazy.
Honestly, like with all the heart, and I swear on my parents, trust me, the reason why I upgraded, I have an iPhone 7 Plus, I'll just bring it on over here. So I have this iPhone 7 Plus. Now I have also this phone, which is iPhone XS Max. The only reason which I bought this and upgraded to, one, obviously because I wanted to upgrade. Second reason is my friend from Mumbai, he told me that watch this video on apple.com of iPhone XS Max, and I'm like, okay fine, let me watch it. I watched it with my AirPods on, my hands-free on, AirPods on. The sound, the quality of the video, I was so into it, and they bought me. They bought me as a customer, and I was in Apple stores the next week. I bought this phone. Like just imagine, it is all about branding and marketing. The selling is just a byproduct of the value which you bring.
And that's a really good example. I think the previous video we spoke about, when you're branding, either people should like you or hate you. So here's a good example. He loves Apple. I was an Apple fan and now I hate it. I fucking hate it. Yeah. So I had Apple products, now eventually migrated to a Samsung and a Huawei. No Apple in my life. But what they're doing right is branding. Right? They're either getting the end user to either hate them or love them. There's no middle ground, which is something you want to do.
And there is always a balance. Like, see, this is a perfect example. Apple lost a customer, but is already winning a customer with a retention, with 100% retention. Like, look at this. I'm having this AirPod which is from Apple. I'm having 2 iPhones. I have a MacBook. Like Apple without them, without them selling to me, I already have 4 major products of them. I'm planning to have an Apple Watch soon enough in maybe 3 months. Like they're not selling me anything.
No.
So it's like when you lose your client or a customer or something good will happen definitely in your life when it talks about your brand or a business. So you don't worry about that. Yes, retention is super important. Apple lost a customer over here, but at the same point in time, they are not just focusing on the bad thing. They are always focusing on how they can bring more value with their product or service. So in your case, if you are producing content on the latest platforms like LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, by the time we are shooting this is 12th of August 2009, 12th or 13th?
13th.
Yeah, 12th, 13th, we don't know. This is August 2019 and these are the platforms which are booming like anything. So if you are not producing content for your brand, for your business, for your product service on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, podcast, YouTube, then you are not doing digital things, not even digital marketing. You are not doing digital things. Your brand is not digital.
Yeah. And to just build on to the point about Apple, they lost me as a customer, but I don't think they are doing anything wrong. Right? They are being true to their value, and I just don't relate to it as a brand. but they are being true to it, and people who relate to that brand would buy from them. Just like, when we as a part of my company also are into education space, where we have the certification courses on digital marketing. So now when people see my videos put out on the Marketing Nerds digital platforms across, so a lot of parents would be like, who the fuck is this guy? Is this guy going to teach?
Yeah.
Please, my son, my daughter, please don't go to him. He uses the fuck word. Aap bigad jaoge, right?
Yeah.
So it's cool with me. If they don't identify with me, my values, my brand, it's alright. They have a different brand which they can go to. People who identify and relate to me would come to me. But I'm being true to my value. And that's how I'm being able to attract the right audience, which is ideal for me.
Yeah. And at times you see, this is what I also do. Like, I have an habit of cursing, I have a habit of fucking, because I keep on consuming Gary Vee, and that's how your subconscious goes. Like, you groom yourself like in 5 years like that. So because of which, like this event on 10th of August, which I had, it was in college, and there were a couple of conservative people like Principal Ma'am and all those aged people. So the ma'am specially called me and requested me. The ma'am is like fully okay with the fucking words and all those things. But she told me that there are Principal Ma'am and other parents who are gonna come, so maybe it might be a problem. So if you can just not use the cursing words, and I'm like, okay, fine. I'll try my best. And what I did was I'll play a video over here. Like, I cannot use a couple of words. I'm damn serious about my content. And like, that was a funny incident. He booked a ticket. He thought that he's booking a ticket for me, where my ticket was already booked. So that ticket is gone. वो पैसा तो मेरा गया. On top of that, once again I'm booking his ticket. So almost I'm spending 20k just to fly him. Why? Because I'm like, I cannot use a couple of words. I'm damn serious about my content. I love you all. Like, in that video, without me saying the fucking word, my entire audience of 800, 900 crowd is understanding that, clapping and laughing like anything. So at times, yes, you have to stay true to yourself, but by not saying the fucking word. Because at that point in time, you have to just respect somebody.
True.
And other than that, like 99% of the cases, you have to have fucking words, because the fucking words matter the most, because they are the fucking words.
And I remember I now stopped speaking at colleges. I stopped taking the invites, but long back I came here to Baroda. At Maharaja College had invited me, and they also had these rules that you can't abuse and they have abusive language, but I still went ahead and did that. It's again an easy way for me to connect with the audience, and then there was some sort of a reaction where the principal wasn't happy, and one of the deans in the pharmacy department was my uncle, my real chacha. So he wasn't happy about it, but the audience connected, and and I feel it's a little hypocritical also for people, because
it's India.
I'm digressing a little here, but when Virat Kohli, when he's all pumped up and he uses MB, and then everybody's
it's life. It's life. You will always have a two-side of coin. So.
And I have this specifically for this video, which is Oyo. Now, if I had this kept in the video, and unconsciously when you're watching the video, you may have noticed this, right? And I forgot to remove this. So this is branding fucking gone wrong, because hey, if I'm trying to attract a high-end customer, and if they see something from Oyo kept here, that's not branding right?
Yeah.
So I specifically got this from my house to keep it here, just to prove that in the example.
So we are not at all promoting this particular brand. But yes, I am promoting Apple. Because see, and this is so of a deeper meaning. Like, when I say that yes, I am promoting Apple, you guys already know that Steve Jobs or Apple as a company has not even paid me, because I'm nobody in front of Apple. But when we said something about this, probably you thought that Oyo might have collaborated with us. Yeah. That's also an important point. So both of these products, we have not collaborated. We only have collaborated on this particular thing. Alright, so that's it for this particular episode.
It's been a long one, right? Yeah.
100%.
But I think there was good value in the episode.
100%. So we'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.